whole new week we got to start, so why not start it off with talking about the Dark Side of the Ring episode, Bam Bam Bigelo. Wasn't a bad episode, but there's a lot they left out. I'm going to talk about what I know about Bam Bam Bigelo, which isn't much, but I was at a WWE event in the Meadowlands Arena, which I don't even know what they call it anymore. And the main event was going to be a cage match between Andre the Giant and Big John Studd. And there was guys setting up the cage. Well, one of the guys I noticed that was setting up the cage had a fireball tattooed to his head. And I was looking down at this guy thinking, man, maybe this guy's going to be something someday. I had no idea that he was a student of Larry Sharpe at the Monster Factory in South Jersey. No idea. And I had heard the thing about the bounty hunter thing and all that other stuff. It's part of a legend, New Jersey legend and all that. Next time I saw Bigelo, he was at World Class Wrestling in Texas as Crusher Yerkoff. And of course, you know what the fans were chanting, don't you? Jerk off, Crusher jerk off. Well, it seems he was down there with Larry Sharpe. Now, the thing is that, I guess this is with trainers and things like that, that if you hook up or you're booked by a bigger organization, I guess Larry had some kind of deal where he got a percentage of Bam Bam's earnings, which basically led to a falling out down the road, because when Bam Bam was picked up by the WWF, Larry wasn't. And Larry had some kind of conversation with Vince McMahon, who basically told Larry that, Larry, you're a snake. And he goes, well, let me snake for you, Vince. That was the end of that. So I know Bam Bam was in there for a while. See, I didn't see the initial thing because, they're saying he teamed with Hulk Hogan, this and that and the other thing. I guess he came in as a face. When Hulk Hogan was in the WWF, I had no fucking interest in watching this shit, because all it was toning down what used to be fucking violent entertainment and marketing it toward children. And we all know the result of that. So anyway, Bam Bam was in for a while, and I guess he had an altercation with Andre the Giant, and then he was out. He went to Japan, he bounced around here with the territories, Memphis and stuff like that. I know he was in Memphis. I think that's where he met Paulie Dangerously, and was managed by him. And I guess he worked against Jerry Lawler. Well, anyway, he was brought back to the WWF. And for a WrestleMania thing, he had an altercation on camera with NFL star Lawrence Taylor. And that led to some kind of a match at WrestleMania. And of course, McMahon was patting Bam Bam on the back, promising him a bunch of shit, which we all know wasn't going to happen because Vince fucks his guys over anyway. The deal was that, I heard an interview with Bam Bam, and he said, with the Lawrence Taylor thing, he walked up to him before the match and said, look, I know you're supposed to win. I know how this is supposed to play out, but I'm going to tell you something. You make me look like an asshole. You make my profession look like shit. I'm going to pin you in the middle of the fucking ring, and I'm not going to care about the repercussions. Well, the match went on as okay, and of course LT won, and then Bam Bam went on to say that they became friends after that. Whatever happened to Bam Bam after that, I really don't know. All I know that he was phased out real quick after that, after all the promises and shit. So now, segue a few years down the road, and I'm down at Asbury Park for an ECW show at the Asbury Park Convention Center. And Shane Douglas is out there cutting a promo about how, Asbury Park is a dead fucking town, which it was, because we went to a Howard Johnson down there that had been turned into a bar, and when we ordered food, they actually had to run out and get fucking rolls for the hot dogs and hamburgers, because they didn't have it, because they weren't used to serving people down there. The town was dead. It was a fucking disaster, but the convention center still worked. So Douglas is cutting this promo on about how shitty the town was, then out of the crowd comes Bam Bam Bigelo. And there's something going on, and Balls Mahoney was there, and there was an impromptu tag against, I believe it was Douglas and Chris Candido, when Bam Bam turned on Balls, beat him up, and they formed a triple threat. Bam Bam was now established in ECW, and the first thing he did on TV was lose to Spike Dudley, where he said he had no problem losing to the younger guys. You know, it was sort of a thing with ECW that you came in and you lost your first match. So it was no big deal. And Bam Bam went on to main event, you know, some title matches, actually won the belt off of Taz. They did this thing where basically they tricked out the ring where they crashed through it, and that's how Bam Bam won the title. I believe they did a rematch where they did the same fucking stunt only on the rampway where they crashed through the rampway. Once was enough. But anyway, Bam Bam, I don't know what happened to him after that. You know, there was a lot of drugging going on down there and stuff like that. And then there was something in the local news that Bam Bam was arrested at Newark Airport for an altercation with his wife or girlfriend or whatever was going on at that point. I don't know. Then there was a thing where he was in a bad motorcycle accident. Something about him saving some kids. The house was on fire. He ran in and saved some kids. And then he passed away at age, I think he was 56 or something like that, which was sad. And they're blaming it on some Mark Fan doctor who was just giving him all the drugs he needed. The man had a spectacular career for what it was. It's just a shame that, you know, the demons got to him like they get to everybody else in that business, unfortunately, if you're not smart enough to avoid, you know, the whole pain thing and stuff like that. But it's like they said, you know, at one point when he was working for the WWF, he was working 60 days straight, you know, months straight without seeing your family. And, you know, night after night of doing that shit takes a toll on your body. So it's just a shame what happened to him, and it's, you know, it's nice that they didn't, you know, exploit the whole thing as they've done in other segments on Dark Side of the Ring, but I just felt that, you know, I would just share what I know about it and my remembrance of Bam Bam when I'd seen him live in person and, you know, with ECW and stuff. So there's a lot going on. It's hot as hell it's been hot as hell over the weekend and shit like that. I'm just trying to get my head together here. But we're okay. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. We got more coming down the pike during the week, so we'll catch you on the flip side. Until then, stay safe.